Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. The Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program is a 30-minute radio intervention support program that is meant to provide continuous instruction to keep you academically engaged during this stay-at-home period, as well as preparing you, our 6th, 9th, and 12th graders for the pending Liberia Primary School Certificate Exam, Liberia Junior High School Certificate Exam, and West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate Exam when the time comes. Also, in addition to this academic support, the program is meant to provide psychosocial support for learners, teachers, and parents, and also tips on how you as parents and teachers can provide support to your students and children at home. Now, let's join our teacher for today's lesson.
Hello students, we are teachers Che Kriboti K. Solomon
and Mr. Aaron T. Bala
of Rising Academies. This is the Rising Youth Movement Partnership for the Ministry of Education COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. Our lesson today is Language Arts for the students of grade 3 and 4, and the topic is Natural Resources. While we listen to these COVID-19 health tips, please take out your pencil, pen, and copybook and get ready for today's lesson.
Coronavirus is spread via droplets. When the person coughs or sneezes, the droplets land on surfaces and are picked up on the hands of others and spread further. People catch the virus when they touch their infected hands to their mouth, nose, or eyes. It follows that the single most important thing you can do to protect yourself is keep your hands clean by washing them frequently with soap and water or hand sanitizer.
Now it's time for our lesson. Today, we have another reading session together. I'm feeling great because I know we will do a lot of fun activities. How are you feeling today? We have 5 fun activities to do today. Number 1, sentence warm-up, gradient blending, listen and write, sentence scramble, and read aloud. Let's have a great class together. First, it is time for our sentence warm-up. Today, our practice sentence is, rainforests have a high amount of rainfall. You will listen while I say the sentence 2 times. Then, I will tell you when it is time for us to read the sentence together. Ready? Listen first. Rainforests have a high amount of rainfall. Rainforests have a high amount of rainfall. Okay, when I say your turn, then we can all say it together. Ready? Your turn. Rainforests have a high amount of rainfall. One more time. Rainforests have a high amount of rainfall. Great. When I hear the sentence, rainforests have a high amount of rainfall, I think about a lot of water coming out of the sky. In rainforests, it rains a lot to keep the plants green all the time. Rainforest is a word to talk about the amount of rain a place usually gets. I want you to think about how you will do a drama for the sentence. Rainforests have a high amount of rainfall. Will you be a tree soaking up all the water? Will you be a big cloud full of rain? Will you be a raindrop falling from the sky? I will give you 5 seconds to think about how you will do a drama to show the sentence, rainforests have a high amount of rainfall. I hope you have your drama idea ready. Now, I will say the sentence and you will do your drama. Ready? Your turn. Rainforests have a high amount of rainfall. Wow! The students here with me did a wonderful drama. I wish I could see your beautiful drama at home too. I'm sure you did a great job. Now, I have some questions for you. When I ask the question, if the answer is yes, stand up. If the answer is no, sit down. Number 1. Is rainfall good for plants? Is rainfall good for restaurants? Is rainfall good for crops? The last question, is rainfall good for weddings? Wonderful job answering those questions. Now, let's look closer at the word rainforest. I wonder if you can tell me how many syllables there are in the word rainforest. You will listen while I clap the syllables in the word. Then, I will tell you when it is your turn to try. Ready? Listen. Rainforest. Rainforest. Ready? Your turn. Rainforest. Rainforest. Great job. How many syllables in rainforest? Yes, there are 3 syllables. Rainforest is one word with 3 syllables. Is rainforest a noun, a verb, or an adjective? Remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing. Rainforest is a noun. Rainforest is a plural noun, which means it describes more than one rainforest. The word rainforest is singular and the word rainforest is plural. Thank you very much for this activity. We'll now move on to Teacher Aaron Bala for the next activity.
Thank you. Okay, students, before we go to our next activity, let's hear a short message from the Ministry of Education.
As part of the Ministry of Education continuation of learning in the wake of COVID-19, the Ministry and partners have introduced teaching by radio on the following radio stations: ELBC, Truth FM, Fabric FM, ECOWAS Radio, ELWA, Cool FM, Tish FM, including various community radio stations. This is targeting students from early childhood education to 12th grade. The teaching will focus on 4 core subjects: language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies for students from grade 1 to 6, while students from grade 9 to 12 will have lessons mathematics, language arts, general science, and biology. Meanwhile, the ministry is encouraging students and parents to begin listening and participating in the various lessons on these radio stations over the next 6 weeks. We must arise to keep learning while at home.
A message from the Ministry of Education and partners.
Corona, take precaution. Corona, it could be a mama, brother, sister, or father.
That was great. Thank you so much, Teacher Kubu, for that sentence warm-up. Now, students, it is time for brilliant blending. Are you ready? At the beginning of a word, sometimes we have one sound, and sometimes we have 2 sounds. Today, we will practice some words that have 2 sounds at the beginning. I want you to listen. Scam. At the beginning, we have two sounds. S and k. That makes sk. Listen. Sk. Scam. Now I want you to try this with me. Get ready. Your turn. Sk.
Scam.
Again. Sk.
Scam.
Great job. Let's look at our next word. Sped. At the beginning, we have two sounds. We have s and p that make sp. Listen. Sped. Now, I want you to try this with me. Get ready. Your turn. Sped. Again. Sped. Great job. Let's look at our third word. Scheme. In sk, we have two sounds. We have this and k that make sk. Listen. Scheme. Now I want you to try this with me. Get ready. Your turn. Scheme. Again. Scheme. Great job. Let's look at our fourth word. Listen. Spot. In sp, we have two sounds. We have this and p that make sp. Listen. Spot. Now when you try this with me, get ready. Your turn. Spot. Again. Spot. Great job. Let's look at our fifth word. Spain. In sp, we have two sounds. We have s and p that give us sp. Listen. Spain. Now when you try this with me, get ready. Your turn. Spain. Again. Spain. Great job. Let's look at the sixth word. Listen. Scab. In sk, we have two sounds. We have s and k that make sk. Listen. Scab. Now, I want you to try this with me. Get ready. Your turn. Scab. Again.
Scab.
Great job. Let's look at number 7. Spawn. In sp, we have two sounds. We have s and p that make sp. Listen. Spawn. Now when you try this with me, get ready. Your turn. Spawn. Again.
Spawn.
Great job. Let's look at the last word on this list. Listen. Skip. In sk, we have two sounds. we have this and k that make sk. Now listen. Sk, a, p, skip. Now I want you to try this with me. Get ready. Your turn. Sk,
A,
skip. Again. Sk,
A,
skip. Great job. You did excellent well for that activity. Now we are going to practice what we have learned. So you are going to listen and write. I will say the word and I want you to write it down. Number 1, scam. Scam. Number 2, spade. Spade. Number 3, scheme. Scheme. Number 4, spot. Spot. Number 5, spin. Spin. Number 6, scab. Scab. Number 7, spawn. Spawn. Number 8, skip. Skip. Great job. Now, we are going to check and see if you wrote your words correctly. Are you ready? Remember, the letter C and the letter K makes the sound K. Don't worry. If you get confused between C and K, that is something that happens to me too, sometimes. Let's look at our words. Number 1, scam. Scam has the sounds sk, a, and it is spelled S-C-A-M. In this word, C makes the k sound. Number 2, spade. Spade has the sounds sp, e, d, and it is spelled S-P-E-D. Number 3, scheme. Scheme has the sounds sk, a, and it is spelled S-K-I-M. In this word, K makes the sound k. Great. Number 4, spot. Spot has the sounds sp, a, t, and it is spelled S-P-A-T. Number 5, spin. Spin has the sounds sp, a, and it is spelled S-P-I-N. Number 6, scab. Scab has the sounds sk, a, b, and it is spelled S-C-A-B. In this word, C makes the sounds k. Number 7, spawn. Spawn has the sounds sp, a, and it is spelled S-P-U-N. Our last word is skip. Skip has the sounds sk, A, and it is spelled S-K-I-P. In this word, K makes the sound K. Great job. Thank you for this activity. We now move on to our next activity called Sentence Scramble. We now ask Teacher Kubo to lead us through this activity.
Thank you. Now it is time for sentence scramble. Are you ready for sentence scramble? I will give you some phrases and you have to rearrange them into sentences that make sense. Ready? Write these 4 phrases. A chip, spade, on the man, I. You should have 5 words written. Again, the words are a chip, spade, on the man, I. Now, take 1 minute to organize those phrases into sentences that make sense. I will give you 1 minute to work on it. Good, keep trying. I know you can do it. You have 20 seconds. Okay, let's try to make a sentence together first. I am going to look for the verb. A verb is the action word. Can you find an action word? Yes, the verb is spit. So in this sentence, someone spit something. What is the thing that someone spit? That is right. Someone spit a chip. Where did they spit a chip? Oh my goodness! Someone spit a chip on the man. Who could do such a terrible thing? What is the word that is left? Oh no! I spit a chip on the man. I am so embarrassed. Let's read it together. Ready? Your turn. I spit a chip on the man. Again. I spit a chip on the man. Good. Remember, when we write a sentence, the first word should start with a capital letter and the end of the sentence should have punctuation. This is a statement, so please put a period at the end. Let me tell you what happened after I spit a chip on the man. The man got mad. See if you can write that sentence too. The man got mad. Thank you, class, for that great exercise. We move to Teacher Aaron Bala.
Thank you, Teacher Kubo, for leading the students into sentence scramble. Our last activity today, student, is read aloud. I'm going to read you another passage about natural resources in Liberia. This text comes from the Accelerated Quality Education Level 2 Teacher Guides and Learners Workbook series by USAID and the Ministry of Education. This passage is called Growing and Selling Rubber. Hearing that title makes me ask questions like, how is rubber grown in Liberia? How is rubber sold? What happens to rubber that is grown and sold in Liberia. Let's listen carefully and see what we can learn from this passage. Growing and selling rubber. Rubber is Liberia's largest export crop. When we sell goods to other countries, we say we export them. The money Liberia gets comes from selling rubber, becomes a capital resource. We use it to build schools, pay for goods we must buy from other countries, and invest in our country's economy. The need for rubber is still growing. It is used to make rubber gloves for hospitals, tires for cars, ditches, and other things. Most rubber trees are grown on big farms called plantations. They hire many workers. Small farmers also tap rubber trees. Often, they sell to the big plantations. The big rubber farms called plantation in Liberia are now being rebuilt. More money is starting to come back in from this export, and the need for rubber is still growing. Currently, there are two levels of rubber production. Number one, the farmers with smaller farms who sell their products at very low prices. And number two, the larger rubber plantation that buy and export. There are places nearby they can take it to sell. Middlemen also take firestones and other trucks to communities to buy the raw rubber. Wow, what an interesting reading. Based on what we have learned, students, maybe we can answer some of the questions we had at the beginning. Number one, how is rubber grown in Liberia?
In the passage, I remember reading the sentence, most rubber trees are grown on big farms called plantations. They hire many workers. Small farmers also tap rubber trees. The passage talks about big farms and small farmers. Big farms are plantations like Firestone, where there are many trees and a company hires workers to collect rubber from the trees. Individual farmers can also have their own small farms with a few trees that they can tap themselves.
Great. So how is rubber sold in Liberia?
Let me think. In the passage, I remember reading the sentence, there are two levels of production. The farmers with smaller farms who sells their product at very low prices, and the larger rubber plantations that buy and export. The passage talks about two levels of production. Production means how things are made or produced. The big farms, the plantations, are the ones who export rubber. Export means that plantations sell rubber to countries outside of Liberia. The small farmers do not export rubber. They sell the rubber to other people inside Liberia.
Wow. My next question. What happens to the rubber that is grown and sold?
I know. In the passage, I remember reading the sentence, the need for rubber is still growing. It is used to make rubber gloves for hospitals, tires for cars, ditches, and other things. The passage tells us that rubber is used in manufacturing different things like gloves, tires, and ditches. The factories that make those things are outside of Liberia. So people who grow rubber in Liberia sell the rubber to factories in other countries. It is possible that the tire on the cars driving around were made in another country with rubber that was grown in Liberia.
Wow. Great. Students, after listening to those very important information from the text, now I have an assignment for you. I want you to imagine the journey of a small drop of rubber starting from a tree being collected by a farmer, being sold outside of Liberia, then growing through a factory to turn into something that people want, then going into a store and being bought by someone to take home. I want you to write a story about a journey that you take as a drop of rubber as you go through all the different stages of being grown, sold, and then turned into something new. Remember to complete this assignment before the next lesson. I will read that assignment again. I want you to write a story about a journey that you take as a drop of rubber as you go through all the different stages of being grown, sold, and then turn into something new. Great job. I want us to look back and try to remember all what we have learned today. We practiced the sentence, rainforests have a high amount of rainfall. We talk about rubber, farms, export, and rainfall. We practice blending sounds to read and write the words like scam, spade, skim, spat, spin, scab, spawn, and skip. We practice arranging words to write a sentence. Lastly, we read and discussed the passage about rainforests in Liberia. Now, boys and girls, if you have any question on today's lesson, you can kindly send them through this number 0555670833. Again, if you have any questions on today's lesson, you can kindly send them through 0555670833. Thank you so much.
Boys and girls, that is the end of our class today. We are so happy you were here with us. We hope to talk to you again soon. Goodbye from me, J. Kubo T.K. Solomon.
And goodbye from me, Mr. Aaron T. Bala.
Amen.